What is going on Twitch chat and also the Discord stage channel? Welcome to your Strats Weekly for the week of 12 March 2022. As always, I'm your host, Auth. Thanks for being with us this evening. Thanks for giving up that extra hour that we're going to lose, or committing an hour, I guess, of your time, knowing full well that you're going to lose one tonight because government says we're going to roll all the clocks forward. I hate daylight savings time. I absolutely
Not here in Arizona. We don't do that stuff.
Must be nice.
Bye.
My weekend is going to be an hour shorter, which is a real shame because I wasn't working at the time. Like, I was between school and like actual job during fallback. So I had...
Does that happen tonight, or did that happen this morning?
It happens tonight at 2 a.m., I think.
Okay, so I really did just sleep for 10 hours last night. Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Must be nice. Shoot, I need to sleep for 10 hours. That'd be a really good idea. I did not sleep well enough this week. Yeah. But welcome to Strats Weekly. We talk about what's going on here in Strats. You know, games we're playing, stuff that's doing. Shout out to everybody who's here, people who are going to watch this after the fact, and who will trickle in as they realize that the stage is live. Taco, you good? I haven't heard anything from you since you came up here.
What's that?
Oh, those are
Very
the clicks
quiet.
of somebody playing Lost Ark.
Yeah.
No one's playing that
What?
game.
Nobody's
What
playing that
game?
game, right? Oh yeah. I mean, I guess we should just dive right into it. For those of you who are gonna need some help waking up in the morning because you don't go to bed early, you can always reach for some Bawls. Strats Weekly, sponsored by Bawls. Running low. I need to get some more. Only got 4 left. Running low. Vecino, remind me, we gotta get more. We gotta get more balls. Oh
Are
man.
you treating Vecino like a Amazon Alexa device or something?
I mean,
That's basically what he is.
He is an AI. So using him for agenda keeping and reminders seems like an appropriate use case. Unless, is that discriminatory to AI and like, you know, the assistants and stuff like that? That like is me saying treating Vecino like an Alexa or a Siri? Is it discriminatory to AI?
No, I said you're treating him like an assistant, not like you're treating him like a Siri.
I mean, that's what Siri is, though. Siri's a digital assistant.
You missed my joke.
He said Siri.
Oh, his Siri. That didn't come through. I didn't register that. I was also reading Precious is scolding me for discriminating against the AIs. Technically, he is my digital boss. That's a fair point. That's a fair point, Precious. I have to remember that. But you know, when the AI and the robots rise up, try to not think about tonight and what I just said. Let's be friends. Oh man, well, let's talk about some games though. We got a lot of games to talk about, a lot of stuff going on. First up, ESO. For those who don't know, ESO is a buy-to-play, kind of like Guild Wars or Guild Wars 2. You pay once for the game, and then you don't have to pay a subscription fee, although there is an optional premium subscription fee if you want some extra perks like access to DLCs and things of that nature that maybe you did not buy up front. You can play it in first person, you can play it in third person. It is wildly diverse. You can do so much, so many different build possibilities, a lot of room for playstyle customization, and a lot of things this year in particular. They are balancing, trying to bring some of the less meta things up a little bit as opposed to nerfing things down that are currently meta and strong. There's going to be even more possibilities as they roll out with all of the content that's coming out and the balance changes that are coming throughout this year. Pretty hype. For those who don't know, we do play quite a bit of ESO. We are on the NA mega server. If only all MMOs had mega servers, Man, that'd be something. Be amazing. But they don't. ESO does, thankfully. We have a whole lot of people playing. Currently, we're up to 620 on the Discord. Last time I checked in, we were at about 430 in the guild out of a possible 500. So we do have some room if anybody is looking to join up with us. Looking to see... don't know. Looking to see, did we get the merchant back? I don't know if we got the merchant back this week. I know we've got a bid in for this coming week. I don't know if we actually got the merchant back this week. Typically, we have a merchant. It's been a little rough the last couple of weeks, but we have a giveaway system, raffle, I guess is a better way of saying it, where people donate money to the guild bank, and then there's a raffle held. Half the money that's donated is kept in the bank to make bids on the merchants, and the other half is raffled out to a couple of winners. 3, I believe. They usually pull those on Sunday or Monday for those interested in that. But
and it really sucks to do.
What?
The 50-50 raffle.
50-50 raffle?
Well, it's not like it not sucks to do. It's the API of the game's garbage.
Oh, for the actual add-on that we use for it.
Yeah, the add-on, like, it can't read directly. It has to like build a database as it reads the guild bank history.
Yeah. I mean that's because.
Oh my god! Like,
I mean, why would they? I mean, there's just no reason for them to have a. Like, from a development standpoint, that API node being, public facing wouldn't make any sense. So it tracks that, it has to build off of the history. I can't imagine, like, why would they give us an API, public facing API for that specific functionality?
Yeah, I mean, at least make it faster. Some of the big guilds, you got to do it about an hour or two beforehand.
Well, I mean,
it literally takes like, I think the longest it took me when I was running it was like 29 minutes to do it, to finish creating the database and give me like who won.
Yeah, but you're playing on like a literal toaster oven.
No, but it's not. It took literally like Surge the same amount of time.
Well, that's because he's playing
It's
from
got
all the
a
way
lot
across the
better.
pond.
All right, fucking Microsoft's best buddy here.
No, it is what it is. It's a community built feature, so it works as well as the community development based on the limitations, like, because they don't have an API, they can only optimize so much when it's having to go through and look at the entire history of the guild donations. But it's nice when it does take a long time, because that means we got a lot of donations, which means we're probably going to be able to fund bids on merchants. It's a win-win.
Yeah, it's usually pretty good.
Yep. But yeah, for those interested in joining us in ESO, head on down, check out TESO info. It's got all the details about the guild. And then, of course, hit the Skooma Den. You can ask for Two Boy Android, who's usually not able to make it out to Strats Weeklies. He typically has Saturday evening events that he is partaking in. So the weeks that he's here are the weeks that his groups aren't actually doing something. But he's typically not here, but he is in game. Two Boy, you can also reach out to Dies a Lot, Ozzy Time, and whom else? Who did I miss? I missed somebody. Sandman. Any of those can hook you up, but if you're just trying to get invited in, most people in the guild do have invite permissions, so you don't necessarily have to wait for an officer to snag you. If you pop in the Discord, grab the role, and hit up Skooma Den and just say, hey, I'm looking to join up, somebody will get you sorted out real quick. In terms of events, we've got, I see some PvP, I see a vet trial, Sky Shard hunts, and normal cloud rest, and another trial run scheduled. A whole bunch of stuff scheduled right now. Speaking of scheduled events, if you are coming into the TESO ESO guild, one thing that Two Boy is looking for is some additional event creators, people to help manage those, or spin up new ones if they've got ideas that are outside of the ones that are currently being run. Tube would love to talk to you. He is actively seeking additional people to help out with that. And in terms of us being on the NA server, while we are on the NA mega server. We do have people playing from literally all around the world. Aussie Timmy is not just a name, he is actually playing from Australia. Tube is playing from across the pond, and he is not the only one. Actually, as far as I understand it, the EU servers are kind of dead by comparison. A lot of the people who can stand the additional latency that comes with playing on the NA server, overwhelming majority of them will, just because of the health and population on the NA mega server compared to the EU mega server. There's a lot of good people doing a lot of cool things. Like I said, scoom it in on the Discord. Just make sure you grab the TESO role out of the rules and roles to get you access to that category. See all the fun that goes on down there. Next game we need to talk about, EVE Online. For those not in the know, EVE Online, super old game. Not the old as in like old bad, just it's been around for a hot minute. It is an MMO. It's kind of like the vision of Star Citizen, but without the first person. It has a lot of the same scope in terms of a massive universe with a lot of existing content, as well as like developed content, I should say, as well as player developed content, like, you know, factions going to war with one another and things of that nature. The scale is incredible. You get sometimes hundreds or even thousands of players involved in large skirmishes. Honestly, I don't think there's any other MMO that really hits that sort of scale. It is technically free to play. Again, you can use premium subscription to get some bonuses there. And if you're curious about how best to optimize your time in ESO or in EVE, I mean, we have a lot of people with a lot of expertise. Vorthos in particular, our fearless leader of the Strats Corp, has all sorts of information about how to make the most out of your time, whether you are free to play or you are using is it Omega? Is that the type of the account? It's an Omega account, right?
Yes.
Yes. Stratsco, as I said, we are actively recruiting the Pretenders Alliance, which is comprised of Stratsco as well as the Helix Corp and the Void Hounds. As an alliance, we are also actively recruiting. In particular, we are still actively seeking some additional coverage in the OCE, SEA time zones. So if you happen to be a corporation in that time zone and you're looking to get involved with some of the stuff that we do, which is a lot of wormhole stuff, if I'm being honest, by all means, please reach out. We would love to talk to you about the possibility of you joining up with us out there in New Eden. In terms of what we do, besides wormholing, because we do live in wormhole space, the Stratsco Corp does own wormhole space. We do everything: null sec, high sec, low sec. We do PvE, we do PvP. A number of events hosted not only by Stratsco, but also by some of the sister corporations. Both Helix and Void run different events. At the moment, there are... let's have a look. There are a couple of scroll wheels worth of things happening at some point in the coming time. I'm not allowed to talk in specifics. I get in trouble when I say things too specifically. But there is definitely stuff going on. Got over 300 people on the Discord with the role. I think Stratsco proper, that is, accounts for about 100-ish of those, I want to say. If you are interested in joining in any of the fun going on in EVE, whether you are a new player, returning veteran, somebody who literally never stopped playing, has been playing for, well over a decade. Pushing almost 20 years at this point. Getting close, isn't it? Yeah. Recris. Yeah, if you're any of those people, grab the EVE roll from Rules and Rolls, head down to Internet Spaceships. People you're definitely going to want to try and talk to. Vorthos, like I said, our fearless leader. Mazix could also talk to you. If neither of them are around, Wex is out of Helix. Wex could talk to you a little bit. So could Vicino, if he is available and you can pry him away from Lost Ark. He would also be able to talk to you. I think those are the big Big names. You could also talk to Bane. That's another person you could definitely speak with. Yep, those are the big ones. Like I said, there's almost always something going on. This channel is very infrequently empty. It is almost always got at least a handful of people. And sometimes when they're not over here, they're over doing shenanigans on the Helix Discord. I don't think there's a point where everybody is actually logged out of this game. It's actually incredible to me the dedication that EVE players have, like more so than I think any MMO I've ever looked at. Just the intensity that they play that game with, and I guess it's because, in theory, you continue to scale since your character continues to earn skill points, which you can then use to determine how well you pilot the various classes of ships and use the different weapon systems, or do some of the other things that can be done within EVE, like mining or scouting, things of that nature. It's honestly, the scope is, if Star Citizen were to drop with the scope of EVE, I don't think anybody would be disappointed. I think that's the best way I could put it. I think EVE is that deep, and it's kind of a joke that you never really quit EVE. You just take a break. And EVE is also the #1 game to play while you're playing other games, since you can passively be doing things even when you're not logged in. Really crazy. But yeah, EVE Online. You want to hang out in New Eden? Head down to Internet Spaceships. Ask for one of the recruiters. They can get you all the details. You'll also see in the EVE info channel some information about how to authenticate your Discord account so that you get access to all these channels, which you won't see normally without permissions. I think that's about all that's going on with EVE right now. But they're doing stuff in space. Which brings us the last game we're going to talk about tonight, Lost Ark, with the same video. At this point, I don't know if I'm ever going to update this video. One of these days, maybe I'll remember. For those who don't know, Lost Ark came out February 11th, free to play, top-down, ARPG-esque MMO, ARPG in its control scheme, I should say. It's still very much an MMO, a lot of MMO systems. Frightening amount of content. I am still chewing on horizontal content so much that it continued to impact my vertical progression. I don't know if I'm ever gonna every time I play, I wonder if I'm actually gonna make tier 3 one of these days. I get so distracted by everything that's going on and all these other things that I could do.
Once.
It's true. It's gonna happen just incidentally. Lost Ark currently has 15 subclasses to choose from, and we already know the new subclasses that are going to come out for our region. This game's been out for a couple of years, for those not in the know. It had started in Korea. There is a JP and an RU release, and now the NAEU release. We have 15 classes so far. Destroyer is coming in April, I believe, and then in May we are getting the Arcanist, which is, Destroyer is like a hammer warrior, and Arcanist is basically Gambit. Basically just Gambit from X-Men. You throw magical cards around, does all kinds of crazy stuff. Technically a mage class. That tracks. What's going on with Lost Ark? Firstly, we are continuing to merge folks together. We haven't done a lottery all week because we are in the process of spinning down a couple of the teams on each coast and migrating those individuals into one of the merged teams, whether that's the hardcore team on either coast, which would be Strats Co Shields on the east coast or Strats Fire on the west, as well as the community team, which is Strats Co both on the east and the west coast. So we didn't do a lottery, I don't think at all this week, because we have been moving Strats Co Earth, getting all those people on the west coast moved over into one of the two merged teams so that we can convert Strats Co Earth into an alt guild. And then Strats Lance on the east coast, we've been working to merge those people together with one of the merge teams, and a couple have also gone to, I believe, Strats Blades, as we work to consolidate as we earn additional guild spots. Again, our ultimate goal, we want everybody on either coast, either in the Strats Co community guild in-game, or we want them in the hardcore, and which would be Strats Co Shields on the East Coast, Strats Fire on the West Coast. The really only delineation there is Fire and Shields have a bit stricter requirements in terms of expectations from the members, amount of contributions you're making, gear score. Like, I'm not doing a lot of vertical progressing, I'm doing a lot of horizontal shenanigans. So I am a bad fit for Fire, because Fire is looking for people who are predominantly focused on vertical progression, for example. So for me, eventually when I merge over, I'm going to be merging into the Strats Co community guild. I'm not the hardcore. The work and other things that I have going on just interfere, along with just the situation where every time I see a shiny, I get distracted and wander off over there, and I lose 2 hours of my playtime and get no vertical progression for it. But I might get an island token. Get very focused on that kind of stuff. We also have an event going on right now. If you have not been doing the event, there is still time to begin doing the event and buy out the merchant this week, and hopefully every subsequent week. The merchant is actually insane. We are getting not just refining or honing materials, which is great, at all tiers. We're also getting card packs, including the option to get a guaranteed legendary card. There is a hat, which is just a one-time purchasable. There are there's the what are the stones called that increase our chances at honing? The mist stone?
Depends on the tier.
That's why I don't remember. The ones that actually improve your odds at honing, which is incredibly important. Star's Breath, Moon's Breath, that stuff like that. Thanks, Precious.
Solar protection for T3.
Solar protection at T3. And then what? I'm trying to remember what else is in there that was really cool. Blue and purple engraving books, which is awesome. If you're limited each week. So this, I think this is going for the whole month of March. It just started on Thursday. So each weekly reset, the shop is also going to reset. Yeah, I talked about the cosmetic hat, Precious. I mentioned it. I did mention it. Precious is yelling at me in the Twitch chat that I didn't mention the cosmetic, but I did mention that there's a hat. But you get each week you can buy, X amount of stuff, and then the subsequent week, everything other than the hat will reset and you'll be able to buy it again. It is theoretically possible to buy out the entire shop off of, there's pirate coins too. You can buy out the entire shop with just a single character, provided you are doing the daily event race, which is kind of like you're a Triceratops and it's kind of Mario Kart-ish, like an obstacle course race with abilities that include stunning people and plop, which is definitely not you taking a big shit on the ground that explodes. It totally is you taking a big shit on the ground that explodes. I don't know why they didn't call that poop. They feel like they should have just committed. Just accept it. It even has a little poop emoji. Call it poop.
Landmine.
Landmine. But yeah, you get a lot of coins, event coins, every day, once per roster, so once per account. You can do that. It spawns every even number of hours server time. So if you're playing from not the time zone that your server's in, bear that in mind. You can only do it once a day. You get a big chunk of coins for doing that, usually around 800. Just kind of depends on whether you're on the team that wins or loses and how well you individually place. But you also are getting 100 coins for every Guardian Soul you harvest, and for every Chaos Dungeon that you do, provided you have think it's Resonance is what the Chaos Dungeon energy is called, provided it's one of
Right.
the 2 each day that you get credit for. So you can get something like 1,200-ish coins a day if you do everything you can do every day, and that goes a very long way in the shop. If you are playing alts, like Sinish, for example, I think Sinish has already bought out the entire weekly shop because he's got several alt characters, and while he can't do the race every day, if he does his Chaos Dungeons on all his characters every day and the Guardian raids on all his characters every day, that ends up being a whole ton of coins. Precious said she's also bought out everything, and if you have enough alts, you can literally just skip the race, provided you're doing all the daily content. Which is interesting. I mean, like, in theory then, if you, but sometime during March, if you just had like a whole week where you almost couldn't play at all, like you had a business trip or something, if you front loaded some of your playtime and you can just log in at some point during that week, you could theoretically just like buy out that whole week's shop with previously obtained coins, which I think is pretty interesting. Precious said she's bought out almost everything. She's not quite got enough for the last few T3 mats and some of the big bags. I've bought all the T2 mats. I think I bought everything on the last tab, and I'm still working through some of the stuff on the first tab. But I mean, I'm playing only a single character, and I will get it. I will be able to get it done easily with coins to spare.
I can confirm that I bought everything, and I still have 2,000 coins left.
Yeah, okay, so you absolutely could front load if there was like a week you knew you weren't going to be able to play a whole lot. That's interesting. I wonder what they're going to do with it. It'd be really neat if those coins converted into something afterwards.
They expire on the 14th of April.
They just expire?
That's what the tooltip says.
I didn't read the tooltip. That's a
They
shame.
even got a little icon that says they're gonna like little clock stopwatch type thing.
Oh, yep. It'd be interesting if they did something with it. Like, I don't know what you could do. Even if it just converted over to like silver at like a 10-to-1 ratio or something. Like 10 silver per extra coin you had. Like, that would incentivize people like grinding the event stuff and like playing for all of that. Oh yeah, pirate coins as well, Precious. Yeah, I could see pirate coins being valuable.
Well, but they're already giving you pirate coins in the thing.
Yeah, that's true. They are already giving us pirate coins. So, but like silver would be fine, as I understand.
I think
we're gonna hit a point where we just need tons of it. So
they're already very generous. They don't have to give us anything for extra coins, in my opinion.
Well, they don't have to. It's one of those things where like it'd be nice if there was something else to spend it on, some sort of like endless sync. Even if it was 1-to-1, just like each coin becomes and silver, like I'd still take that.
Hell yeah, 1-to-1 chaos shard.
You're able to buy a
That'd be
Power
incredible. Using to buy a power pass. Yeah, you have to turn in some incredible number in order to buy a power pass, which is funny because if you could earn that many excess coins, then like you're the one who least needs a power pass. You're just mad because you had to do Rundal like what 3 times today?
No, I paid 1,000 gold not to do it 3 times. I only did twice.
Oh.
It's the worst continent, let's be honest.
Is it? I mean, I haven't seen all the continents yet, so I can't say one way or the other.
Honestly, it's not that bad. The dungeons are really nice, so that's cool.
My least favorite continent was not for its aesthetics, but for the stupid arena continent in the Northeast.
Oh yeah,
I hated that arena. I was so over that tournament before I was done with it, and it just kept going. It wasn't hard; it was just tedious. I was just very over it well before I was done. The aesthetics of that region were great. I loved it, especially juxtaposed against the very steampunky desert area, directly adjacent to it. But yeah, no, I could have done with far fewer arena matches than I actually had to fight in. Oh, but yeah, there's a lot going on in Lost Ark right now. Very hype about some of those changes. Apparently there was a bug with Titleos that they fixed today. I don't know what that was all about. I
I
saw
don't
it.
think they fixed it, did they?
I don't think it's fixed.
Oh, is it not fixed yet?
I don't
There's
have the
a
ability to hot fix stuff.
there's a ticker running at the bottom saying to check the forums.
Which
Oh.
is kind of interesting because people were reporting that issue when the Guardian raids were nerfed. So
Oh, is this something
Sure.
that has been happening since that like nerf pass where they rebalance things?
I had read about it on Reddit after I hadn't played Titleos after the nerf, but yeah, I had read that that this was happening.
I don't even know what
But-
is happening. I just saw the ticker. I assumed that they were saying sorry for the inconvenience and they had it fixed, but
So in typical Amazon fashion, and although they're not the ones programming this game, thank God, the change that they made to the Titleos raid was that the instant light mechanic just got turned into a very, very high damage ability. But somehow in that process, they managed to decouple that ability from the preceding ability where it gives out the sandstorms that give you immunity. So it was just a high damage ability with no way to avoid it.
amazing. Incredible. Well, I thought, isn't there a range? I mean, if you run like
Oh, yeah, you
hella
have
far
to jump
away?
off. I don't know if there's a range, but you can jump off the platforms. So that's what you have to do to beat it.
Oh wow, that's
Yep.
attaboy.
That's why I say Amazon fashion.
That's some
they
new
were-
world tier patching right there.
Notorious for that kind of crap.
Dude, I've been playing New World again.
No, you're not.
Don't lie to me.
Hell yeah, man! They're putting Blunderbuss in, bro. I gotta go.
Okay, yeah.
Gotta's a really strong word.
I gotta, man.
Look, I'm not here to judge.
Gotta's not actually a word. I'm gonna just-
Nobody's fucking at Argos yet. On West, like, come on.
You're not at Argos yet either, and you're switching mains, so I
That's
don't
what
want to
I'm
hear it.
saying.
You need to be pooping in a
There's
sock to get
nothing to do.
your character up.
It says no one's at
You got my
Argus and
blunderbuss
spends all
going.
his time on East with his East Coast friends.
Hey,
Yeah, the dedication to play on two coasts is incredible. Because I don't have that kind of wherewithal.
I haven't played in like a week. I switch back and forth. Not often.
How's your relative
I don't
ping
know,
on
man.
East Coast compared to West?
I'm at wait, what? Oh, ping.
Yeah, like compared. What do you get on West
Oh,
Coast? What do you get
it's
on East
better.
Coast?
On East, I get about 38. Like 30 to 40. On West, I get like 60 to 70.
Damn, I'd be living in 40. I mean, yeah, I'd be
I told
doing some-
Vecito, I was like, next MMO, we're going Central Server.
Dude, I wish it. I mean, firstly, mega server. Why? So many other games.
Core Punk, we're going
Literally-
Central.
Literally, the other two MMOs that we're playing hard here at Stratsco have, either a mega server or a single server. And here we are, on Lost Ark, fractured on the different regions, as well as, we're all on the same server on each region. But, there's how many different servers on each region?
I have always said, and I will continue to say that
I like to blame Smile Games.
the-
server
the-
tools.
the MMO god tier server engineers all work at ArenaNet.
Do they?
Yes, I believe they do.
I don't know about that because they
Are they working on an MMO? Because that's the really, if they're not working on an MMO,
They
then-
just figured out alliances.
You're telling me that
I don't
Guild Wars
know.
2 is not an MMO?
Oh, sorry, my brain was somewhere else entirely. I heard what you had said, and I was reading something in the Twitch chat at the same time, and my brain just seized up, and I misprocessed that entirely. No, you're right. No, Guild Wars 2 actually did have a really solid solution in place. It'd be nice to see more stuff like that implemented. Because what's funny is the fracturing that we have in Lost Ark is very much akin to the fracturing of servers that we had for New World. It's just circumstantial that they're both AGS because really it exists because there's going to be PvP content, and since there's a limited number of locations for that PvP to take place, the more fractured the community is, to a point, obviously, the more people have the opportunity to participate in that content. But the thing is, like, we don't even have GVG yet in our NAEU release. So one of the only benefits of the fracturing, which is for GVG stuff, since, we have different shards in the different zones, and matchmaking is region-wide. You regularly are matchmaking in PvP or PvE with people from other servers in your region. Even the auction house is region-wide. It's just incredible that the one feature that justifies so many servers, quote-unquote, which are not even physical servers, as Vecino likes to remind us constantly, they are just, different instances of server being run from the same, data center. We don't even have that content available to us yet. Do we have a date on GVG? Has anybody heard? I've not been paying close attention, full disclosure.
No, I don't think.
They just said it wasn't going to be in at release, and it surely wasn't. And now we're all just kind of sat around like...
It'll probably be in this, supposed roadmap.
Oh, yeah, the roadmap. Yes. This fabled roadmap. I mean, we're well and proper after release. I have a hard time believing that they don't know exactly what they're doing, right? Like, they have to have a plan. I would like to believe they have a plan, and they're not just completely shooting from the hip.
I'm pretty sure they have a plan, but also Smilegate is holding the leash.
I mean,
I think
yes, but also no, because there was an interesting evidence that demonstrated that Smilegate was ready to release in NAEU, and then suddenly the release date was pushed back for New World's release.
Oh yeah, that was probably.
So they're not entirely holding the leash.
Amazon probably had to pay some money.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
To convince them to push it back.
But also,
agree to push it back.
Remember that, it was Smilegate who said they want us to catch up as quickly as possible. But
yeah,
they're, at this point, releasing a class a month is what it looks like the roadmap might be. And if that ends up being the case, God, we're not even going to have all the classes until year's end, basically. When you look at the number of classes we don't already have, which is 7, counting the artist, that we don't have. Plus, we've now see there's an Aeromancer, that's 8. And then number 9 is the gender swap Berserker that they've teased. Obviously the Aeromancer and the Berserker female, neither one are actually out yet anywhere. But it's March, we have 0 new classes, so assuming they release 1 a month, the last class that we know about, if they all come out, will come out January 2023 for us. That's a bit of a bum rap. I wish we were getting classes a little bit faster. And I honestly...
It'll probably... it's definitely fast. It's definitely... If we went the original release timeline...
Yeah.
In, Painter? 3 years from now? That would be the real oof.
Well, for sure,
So,
that would be
all the new classes that have been teased, Aeromancer, female Berserker, in a year, at a third of the time, it's not too bad.
I mean, it's not bad, but the thing you have to remember is, because that content exists, we've got people who are itching to play those classes. We have people who have played on either other regions or who are just super, super hyped about a specific class, and they can't even play that class, and we're getting into Legion raids now, with the first one, being out at this point. So you've got the content where, by most counts, you don't want to switch your main once Legion raids start happening, because it becomes significantly harder and more expensive to switch mains once Legion raids are out.
Which I think will be Voltan will be. I'm guessing Voltan's gonna be next one.
Yeah.
With Destroyer and Southburn.
But yeah, so you're gonna have people who are still waiting for the class that they intend to main, when the content drops. And like that's a very, I mean, we've talked about this more than a couple times. It's a very unfortunate reality. And like, sure, there'll be catch up mechanics available.
The big question is will Amazon do what all the other regions did and offer an instant 1302 bump
Probably.
with every new class release?
Probably. I mean, they have said that there will be catch up mechanics. But the funny thing about that too is like, even if they do that, right? Every time a new class comes out, and I imagine it happens in the other servers as well, there's going to be just a massive influx of that specific class trying to do certain tiers of content.
Right.
And that's not because of the way this game is designed, where certain like buffs and debuffs do not stack when they are from the same class. You know, there's you can do like obviously there are comps that are 4-man teams or 8-man teams that are more synergetic than others. But generally speaking, as long as you have 4 different or 8 different classes, you're typically operating very optimally because you're not overlapping your
Skill sets.
Yeah, you're not overlapping any of those things. When they have a new class drop that people are hyped on, and they really did hold back a lot of very hyped classes. When those hit, you're going to start having groups that are like 2 to 4 of that when they go through matchmaking. Like that's just unfortunate, and it's going to happen a lot. Like it's definitely going to happen when Destroyer drops. It may not happen as much with Arcanist, just because I don't know as many people are as hyped on Arcanist. I mean, there are people who are hyped, no doubt. But I don't know if there's as many hyped on that. But like when Lance Master drops, that's going to be insane. Scouter, same problem, going to be absolutely insane. And then Artist, I don't know. I think it's just going to be a little silly is all. It's just unfortunate that's how it works. Upside, we will get them eventually though. And honestly, this little event, like this isn't like a super fancy event that's going on right now, but I like what it affords us. I like that it doesn't impact our time a whole lot to participate in it. And like we get progress in the event just for doing stuff we were going to do anyhow. And then we get to just reap the benefits of the event shop. So like that is actually a very nice thing though. For as unfortunate as some of the other things are, in my opinion, it is nice to see that we are being well taken care of by way of things like the event shop. So, yeah.
And it's a good like additional source of honing mats, because like normally, a weekly reset happens, you get your pirate coin honing mats, you get your bloodstone honing mats, you get chaos dungeon guardian raid. But now you can,
yeah, you've got just one extra means, and you're going to earn those coins just doing the other stuff.
Yeah. But unlike those other the pirate coin and the bloodstone, these are bound.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the honing materials are the last ones I'm gonna get.
Yeah, I'm only buying honing mats at the tier that I'm currently on, just because if I actually end up rolling. Well, I mean, you could buy an older tier, like a lower tier, in theory.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were referring to a tier above you.
No. I know you have to be the actual tier. But I figure if I roll up an alt at some point during this event, then I can clean that part of the shop out on my alt, get the tier 1 mats.
Yeah, I mean it's real nice with the alts, especially if you rest bonuses for guardian raids and chaos dungeons. Because then it's like 200 per 20 rest energy.
Yeah, just like boom, 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 super fast.
It's nice. It's like alts that I wasn't even playing that were just sitting at 302. I'm like, oh shit. I should probably do these chaos dungeons.
Probably should. Well, yeah. A lot of going on in Lost Ark. Whole lot of stuff. Like I said, we're playing on both NA East and NA West. If you are interested in joining up with us, we have some EU time zone players playing with us on NA East. We also have an OCE SEA entire guild playing with us in NA West. When you get the actual role for Lost Ark to get access to the category, in the Lost Ark info channel, you can actually sign up on the wait list by claiming the role there, as well as whether you are East or West. That will give you access to the Looking for Guild channel, which is where we keep roughly updated how full the different teams are on each coast. And you ask in there, hey, I'm looking for a guild on this coast, and somebody, one of the multiple guild leads or deputies, can hook it up and get you brought into the fold, get all your Discord permissions sorted out, stuff like that. Yep, a lot of stuff going on with Lost Ark, a lot of hype still going, a lot of people still playing, as evidenced by all these people down here playing instead of being up here hanging out with us, which is good. You'll love to see it. And last but not least, Braden's here this week. Last thing we got to talk about, Strat's biggest loser. For those not in the way, we started this year. A bunch of us made a New Year's resolution to lose some weight because, with everything going on in the world, a bunch of us have been remote for a long time, which has made us much lazier. Thus, we gained weight. We decided, shit, maybe we should lose some weight. And what better way to lose weight than with friends? Because misery loves company.
Yeah, and we're on the final stretch now. We've got 2.5 weeks left. So some interesting storylines starting to develop. We'll start with the emergence of a dark horse. Mr. Dragon, who I believe is here with us today, is back-to-back Strats Co. Loser of the Week. Last week he lost 2.81%. This week he lost 1.81%. However, I would argue that this week is even more impressive because the first week is always the easiest. If you look back at the start of Biggest Loser, everyone's by far biggest losses or gains, however you want to look at it, were in the first week. So being able to keep that up is really awesome. Which means there's starting to be some shakeups at the top. So Auth, I can't tell if you've brought up the graph yet because I'm on the Twitch delay, but we've got a crowded Balls Grow on a Blue Balls timeout box TM this week. Very disappointing to see so many people not taking the 20, 30 seconds, 1 minute it takes to step on a scale and type like 4 digits into a computer. So I've decided that this week being in the final stretch, we're gonna start to make things interesting. So to prevent that number of people in the timeout box from growing, we're going to donate $5 additional to charity for every biggest loser that completes all of their submissions. So I think right now there's 5 or 6 people that have completed all their submissions so far. So if they continue to complete their submissions for the next 2.5 weeks, that's going to be an additional $25, $30 for charity. Number 2, I am putting a bounty on Auth's head.
Don't do this to me.
If somebody surpasses Auth in the last 2.5 weeks, we will be donating an additional $30 to charity. So $30 bounty on Auth's head. I see that as going one of 2 ways. I have 2 hopefuls. Either Dragon, the new dark horse, is going to come roaring in at the very end and take the top spot, or Taco, who had a bit of a tumble this week, is just setting things up for a great storyline to finish things off. The protagonist, he's doing well. He stumbles at the end, has this seemingly insurmountable mountain to overcome, but somehow the final hour overcomes that. So I'm hoping one of those 2 things comes true, or maybe we have another dark horse coming through at the very end. So that is number 2. And number 3, there is a third. Number 3 is I have not been particularly happy with my performance. Great that I've lost a bit, but I certainly wanted to lose a lot more. So I am going hard for the last 2.5 weeks, and I am guaranteeing a top 5 finish. And if I do not finish in the top 5, there will be an additional $20 to charity.
I have so many thoughts on this. Firstly, as Precious said in the Twitch chat, be careful, be healthy about how you're losing your weight, Braden. If you're coming, you're coming for top 5. Secondly,
I've done the math. I know where I have to get to, roughly.
That's fair.
Very doable.
Secondly, for anybody who thinks they're coming for my crown, fucking bring it. I am not up here to lose. I fucking dare you. Come get some. I intend to stay on top. I'm not even doing anything crazy. I'm just being consistent. That's I have not won loser of the week once. Even that one really good week I had, because fucking Taco had a better week. Bastard. But I'm still sat on top because I'm being consistent. That's what's important. It's about lifestyle changes. I'm working on those, except on, Saturdays. 'Cause I'm drinking like a sugary energy drink at very late in the evening. This is not what I should be doing, but it's cheat day, so whatever.
So we have some accelerators, an additional, I think, up to like $80 towards charity. We have the potential to make in the last week or 2.5 weeks. So we'll see how that shakes out. I'm hoping to see less people in the Bawls Guana Blue Balls timeout box TM next week.
I'm hoping to see Bradham stuck at 6th spot. I want to see Bradham in 6th place.
Yeah, we're gonna need. I don't. It's not feasible unless he has a big stumble. For me to move ahead of Auth. I think if my math is correct and I lose like a reasonable amount for the next 2.5 weeks, like a normal, healthy but aggressive amount, I think I end up at 5.28%.
That's the number to beat. Let's see. So
So I'm probably not going to beat Auth, Adidas, whoever is in 3rd, who is in the timeout box. Probably not going to beat Dragon at the rate he's going. So that's 4. So someone else from that list has got to step up and get up into the high 5s.
Don't let him have it. I want 20 extra bucks to charity that I will choose which charity it goes to. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to your extra 20 bucks. I think everybody's help.
I think someone's taken down Auth.
I don't think anybody's taking me down. Because here's the thing. Either they don't take me down and I win and I get to pick the charity, or they do take me down and all that's hurt is my pride and they've, made better health for themselves. So it's win-win. There's no loss here. But I don't plan to lose. I don't intend to make it easy. You want this top spot, you're going to have to work for it. Like I have. Sacrificing so many snacks. So many snacks. Oh my god. So many snacks.
But yeah, the one thing I will say, couple additional things of note is hopefully people can kind of pull it together for the next 2.5 weeks. This was the first week where Strats Co collectively gained weight.
Wow.
Yes, just shy of 10 pounds this week. So that's $10 taken away from charity right there.
No.
So gotta step her up. But the good news is, out of everybody that participated, nobody has gained weight overall. So that's 3 months out of a year with nobody gaining weight, which I think is a huge win.
Honestly, that's incredible. Like, does it suck that we finally had a backslide week? Like, yeah, that sucks. But the fact that everybody is still in the positive this far into it. Like these are most people.
Well, not everyone's in the positive. There are
Oh, we got a
a
couple that are
people who
just
are
slightly.
stalling a little, but nobody has gained. Nobody has gained. Nobody is in the red.
I mean, that's still like when you look at, your typical, like, or your stereotypical, I'm gonna go back to the gym starting in January. That stuff usually falls off very quickly. The fact that we've got folks, 10 weeks in, we're in the middle of March at this point, about to have spring forward, and we are still doing well collectively. Like that's honestly impressive. It's a good
Indeed.
thing. Wonder if he's proud of us. Do you think he gazes upon us and is proud of us?
I imagine so.
I had to break that video out. I don't think I have the video queued up anymore right now on this scene, but I'll have to break that out for the last 2-week push into the end of the first quarter. You make a note about that. We'll run the video back, get everybody motivated again for that last push. That way they can't say they had any excuse when they lose to me. I've had all the motivation we can give them. Oh, man. Well, yeah. I think that's about it. I think that about covers the old Strats Weekly for this week. Thanks to everybody who came out. Thanks to anybody who watches this after the fact on Twitch or YouTube, or who listens to the podcast on any of the services. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you next week. Y'all have a good one.